Everybody, welcome to Fall Talk, so Storm Talk. Keep in mind, we're only about a month away from Snow Talk. Yay! It won't be long. And a reminder, my winter forecast comes out Halloween night, which is a Monday this year. So, I was trying to think. Oh no, there's something else going on that night. Anyway, it's Halloween night, so you'll see me then. Okay, I know it doesn't feel like fall. Not that surprising. Seasonal lag is very common. Set up, high pressure and control over weather here. Poor Julia, the leftovers Julia, just stuck under the high, has nowhere to go. The Carolinas and Delmarva Peninsula are over it at this point. We got our heat, sunshine. They're dealing with downpours on a daily basis. Same thing in the upper Midwest. The front stalled out because this high is so strong that any front that tries to make a run at it just, has to go around it or get sheared apart before it gets to it. So our main issue, though, is what's going to be happening here to the west. Low pressure trough developing here in the southwest corner of the country. Also some moisture remnants of a tropical system that came into the Baja Peninsula also being fed into this. This low is going to kick in. The question is going to be progressive and go over the ridge into the Great Lakes, or is it going to split into two pieces? One piece will do the same thing, go to the north, another one kind of hanging out here to the west. Or there's a third scenario where the trough comes a little closer to us as the ridge weakens a little bit on the northwest corner of it, allowing it to influence us a little more. Don't think that's going to happen. This ridge is pretty strong. Overall, this is the Euro. It shows the splitting idea. Again, here's the train tracks, if you will, for a train. Same thing with the low pressure. This is the jet stream, its track. And with the low being on the very edge of it, being pulled in, I mean, it's just, it's kind of lost. But this first piece, we'll dive in. We'll feel the effects of it. It'll knock down the ridge enough on the northern side of it here to flatten it out. We'll get some cooler weather in here, hopefully some rain as it passes through, and then it'll cut itself off, which is interesting. It tries to build in like a subtropical low kind of deal here in the Gulf Stream. Meanwhile, the other piece kind of is just stuck because we got like a blocking pattern here. Storm in the west coast, storm in the east coast. Got a block in the middle, so the low is stuck in the middle. If the Euro is right, then that would be the case. I will say the other models, as you'll see in a second, try to move the low a little more southwest. But it's the timing of this system, I think, is to be the kicker on that. Will the low get out of the way in time before this digs in, or is it going to dig in and see that low still in the Four Corners area and pull it back and throw it into the United States a bit? So, still some questions on how things are going to go next week in general. This has been a thorn in our side, but I think we're trending the right way on this, and that is, being from this area, anytime I've seen the southeast ridge like this hold strong, it's better to bet on it holding strong longer than what the models say. So that any trough that comes at you, go with the slower one on the model data, not the faster one. And that's the way the forecast has been trending. And we still have to make some adjustments on this, but this is where we're standing now. For the weekend, here's the GFS. If you've ever seen this before, know it's a lot of colors, a lot going on. These are the different models. It's the GFS, Euro, Canadian. And these change every so many hours, and they can have some high fluctuations. However, the ensembles of those same models smooth out all that chaos of the crazy runs that models have had and tries to give you a general mean of what will likely happen. So the ensembles are good when it's this chaotic and highly varied when it comes to the data. GFS, all of them here on the operational side and on the ensembles show the ridge holding strong through at least the end of the weekends. This is what we were talking about the other day would likely happen, and the models have trended that way. That's good. It tells us the ridge is the best way to lean on this. Now, as we head into Monday, this is where we start to see changes. Operational GFS is trying to hold on to both lows as one main trough coming in, but the ensemble splits it north, splits that piece down to the south, Baja Peninsula. The Euro is doing the same thing, splits, as you saw earlier in the other map. One piece of the Great Lakes, one splits to the south. And the Canadian, not really sure what the Canadian's doing. In general, it's not really it up here. It's really just one, and it holds it back. So it's betting more on the southern piece being stronger and holds it back and really builds the heat in our area for Monday. I mean, back in the mid-90s, a little bit mid-90s in some cases on the, this is a Canadian, sorry. Now, the ensembles, though, when you look at this, the ensembles do show the ridging holding strong through at least Monday. So that's why we've trended at least 90 degrees through Monday. Betting again on the southeast ridge. The trough, ensembles have a tough time seeing individual lows all the time, but in general, it does see the troughiness to our west. Any clouds, cooler weather west of us still on Monday. The GFS ensemble actually is west, but it does see the piece being split off to the southwest, which actually matches these models up here. So throwing out, in other words, the operational GFS for this update. Then we head into Wednesday. As we head into Wednesday, you will see that the ridge holding strong on the GFS. As we head into Wednesday, the piece to the north is still waiting to move in, but the rain chance, main rain chance, more so Wednesday. The Urals faster brings in the rain chance, which really isn't that much rain. Keep in mind, it's with these two lows the way they are, say they are going to split, they are going to have a tethering or a cord attached to them, if you will, which will be the front. And as the low, the first one speeds up, gets caught up in that track, the jet stream goes faster than the southern one, that tether is going to be shaped kind of like this, and then it attaches to the other low. It's that tether that we'll have our clouds and our rain chance. But since it is going to waver like this, it's hard to tell when it's going to come through and when is it going to have the rain with it or how much rain it's going to have with it. It's not straight up and down as it looked a few days ago. Strong fetch of moisture off the Gulf, which would mean heavy rain for at least a day. But now with this tethering idea, with one piece going faster than the other, we're not going to have a direct flow off the Gulf. So that would mean more of a few showers, but not much rain. And I think that's feasible. I think the ridge is going to be strong. So I think the tethered idea is going to be key. So we got to time out the tether. All right, heading into the last day of next week. This is the last day of the month, too. Euro, again, trying to bring that southern piece more eastbound. I'm not sure I buy that. And Ensemble's not really showing it, too. In fact, Ensemble's a pretty good agreement here that the ridge is going to try to make a comeback. You see that little push upward. And I see the ridge building back in. So we may get a few cool days, 70s, maybe some 50s at night, or first 50s of the year for the Louisville. If we get a day where the tether is over us, which could be Wednesday, could be Thursday, one of those days, if we stay cloudy and rainy enough, we may not get out of the 60s in some spots. But 70s in general, and I think we're going to warm back up again. I think the Southeast Ridge is going to win out as we get into October. I think we'll get back into the 80s. I don't see 90s yet. If we stay completely dry between now and this point, I wouldn't roll out 90s coming back again in October. It happened in 2010. We were a lot drier, though, in 2010. I wouldn't roll it out, having said that, but just kind of a heads up on that. Another sign, too, this blocky pattern is the NAO. Anytime it goes negative, we know we're in a block pattern, and it should have a strong signal we're going to go negative for the last day of the month into the beginning of October, and then we ease out of that. The CFS model, by the way, for October in general, is going with cooler than normal for at least the Midwest, and we're right on the edge of that. I will say this, the Euro does show some cooler air in this kind of fashion around Halloween moving in, but for the majority of the month, it's going warmer, much warmer on average, in fact, in the Southeast, telling me that the Southeast Ridge is going to be strong through at least the first week or two of October. That is the idea that I like right now. All right, that's it for now, guys. We'll see you later today.